You get a double minor, they hit the post, you're on the ropes. What does it say that you know the adversity you came back from?
I mean, our kill stepped up absolutely when we needed them in a do-or-die situation. What a kill. I mean, always your most important killer is the goalie, and Ollie made some absolutely unbelievable saves to keep us in that one. And you know what, we're definitely going to enjoy this one, but we know what's coming. We know it's going to be biggest, hardest game coming up in a couple days, and we know we're going to expect their absolute best, and we're going to be at our best to give ourselves a chance to win.
Brady, is there any way you can describe what you saw or how you felt when Jake Sanderson scored that overtime goal?
I think I was coming off a long shift, so I was gathering myself, and then saw it go in, and just a relief. I mean, just what a goal, what a timely goal. I honestly can't even really describe the feeling. It happened so fast, and to do it in front of this unbelievable fan base that's sticking with us, and in this hard road ahead of us, it was a special moment.
3 overtimes in a row. What was the message going into this overtime?
Just, I think we didn't really put an emphasis on whenever we had a look, shoot the puck, and we made that an emphasis that no matter where you are on the ice, if you have a look at it, you shoot and either cause havoc or like Sandy, you shoot from the boards and it goes in, and there's great traffic in front. So that was our emphasis, and a little bit different from the previous overtimes.
We know you just stepped off the ice. How's it been for you processing the emotions of that overtime?
Well, I mean, I think it's just the do-or-die situation. I mean, if we're not playing at our best, then we're going home. So for us to find a way, and kind of an up-and-down game with momentum swings, and to be able to hang on and take care of business this overtime, and it's definitely feels good, but you're going to have to move on and focus on the next one.
Brady, what did your group show tonight? We all know the whole year, but what did the group show?
I think resilience. Going up 2, and then they come back and tie it. Then they tie late in the third. And I think it's easy to crack under pressure, especially the situation that we're in and the road that we're in. But I think it shows the resilience, the care, the character in this room that we'll do whatever it takes to win. And whether you're mentally, physically, emotionally tired, it's no matter what, you'll just do whatever it takes to win.
How does your mind feel now? Like, you've got your first win under your belt, and how do you continue this momentum?
Well, I think what's going to be important is we're not playing for a couple days, I don't think. So, it doesn't. You don't have to, kind of kill yourself thinking about, that game, the big game. It's, for me, I'm just going to enjoy some family time, get my mind off of hockey for a bit, and just enjoy being with my family. I think that's important. To not get too stressed out, not overthink anything. But when the time comes, then we'll all be ready.
What did you think also of Shane Pinto's shorthanded goal?
Huge, massive. Another moment where the PK stepped up great for us, and Pence has had a lot of looks all year, shorthanded, and it was definitely nice to see that one go in for him, and whenever he plays his best, I know that stat line of so whenever he scores, then it's usually good things happen after.
We know about the work Tim's done defensively through this series. What do you think him scoring that goal at the start of the game means to him?
Yeah, I think it was massive for not just him but our power play as well, and throwing a different look than we have been previous games, and just what a timely goal really set us up for the game, and he just had a great shot there, and that was great.
You've watched Jake sort of grow up in the league. What have you seen from him? How he's taking his game to the next level this season and in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's, for such a young guy, I take so much for him and look up to him in the way he prepares for a game. I don't think I've ever seen somebody prepare as well as him, and he's lucky to, I'm one of my best buddies on the team, and just be able to learn from him, and I've said it, he's going to be a top defenseman in this league, and if he's not already. So he's massive for our team day in, day out, and it's the leadership too that he brings is I think that's what makes him so special.
How much confidence do you think he got being, you were teammates with him at Four Nations to play on a stage like that?
Well, I think he was already confident to begin with, but I see it up close every single day. But I think he showed the hockey world how good of a player he is, and especially on that stage, and especially moments like tonight, big game for us, and steps up and gets the job done for us.
Jake has mentioned that he felt he didn't have that great of a start to his regular season, but he did some work to get himself to a point where he at least can feel that he ended on a good note. What was it like for you from your vantage point, seeing him put the work in to improve on his regular season to the end?
I mean, he's such a hard worker. On ice, off ice, he's, like I said, his preparation is the best I've seen, and something I said I look up to, and I always take things from him as well. So, I mean, I didn't know he thought his start was bad, because every single day he's probably the best defenseman on the ice every game. So, he's a hard critic on himself, but I think he's showing now what he's all about.
What's going to be the most important thing about this uphill battle moving forward? You guys are still down 3-1.
Just focus on the next game. Can't think too long term. It's going to be the biggest, hardest game that we're ever going to play in. Game 5 in their building, and they're going to be desperate and want to win at home. So can't overlook that, and just focus on winning your shift, winning your matchup, and go from there.
David Perron also the big one to get the lead in the third period. Just what does he bring, and what does that fourth line bring?
I mean, just his experience, his personality, his leadership, character. I mean, I can go on and on about DP. He's been such a big help, not just for this team, but for myself as well. And for him to score that and hear the building and be right there for that, it was unreal. It's well deserved. And I mean, doesn't just happen as a fluke. He used that, put himself in a good position around the net, and great play by Zuby to find him and put it on his stick. And it was a big goal for us, and thought we got some momentum after that.
Thanks, Brady.
Thanks, Brady.
Where would you rate that goal for you in your career?
Man, probably number 1. Pretty cool. Just crazy atmosphere again, so it's pretty awesome.
How did you create that chance?
Honestly, just came off the bench and saw the puck was about to get out of the zone, so I just hurried, and a guy was on me. I just threw it to the net, and there's traffic, and he didn't see it.
What was the mindset when you guys were playing in your third straight overtime?
Yeah, just keep our foot on the pedal. I think having that big kill in overtime there, the 4 minutes, I think that just created momentum for us. Created positivity, and it worked out tonight.
What was it like for you processing the gamut of emotions that normally would run through an overtime such as tonight?
Yeah, it's a lot, especially your third straight one in a row. So, you gotta mentally strong, and I think everybody on our team was tonight.
What happened on their second goal? Felt like you and Artem kind of hesitated, and nice goal on that.
Yeah, we gotta communicate better. I think puck just squirted out in between us, and there wasn't a lot of talking. So we'll clean that up.
Was scoring that goal, did you feel like you needed to make up for it a little bit, or?
No, I just want to win the game.
What was the celebration like with all your teammates coming around you in the dog park?
Yeah, it was awesome. Especially just ending up on the glass there and, turning to them all so excited. But, I feel like we'll enjoy this for a little bit tonight, but, shift our focus onto the next game pretty quick here.
What have you learned about playoff hockey through 4 games? You're a young guy in the league.
It's fast. There's not a lot of room to make plays out there, and I think just the little details add up throughout the game for sure.
Jake, what was your takeaway of the way Linus played tonight?
He was awesome. He's played awesome all series, so he's the backbone to our team, and we count on him every single night to bring it, and he does.
What does it do for the confidence of this group to have a win now in the playoffs?
Yeah, it's big. We're just focusing on one game at a time right now, and that next game, Game 5, is a big one, so we'll be ready.
What did you learn about that hostile environment in Toronto?
Yeah, I feel like we're kind of used to it. Obviously, going to Montreal and Toronto, 2 close places and rivals, so nothing really new to us.
Jake, have you ever had this feeling of exhaustion this bad?
No, I'm not exhausted. Let's keep going.
What do you think of how Tyler Clevin played tonight?
He was awesome. I saw early in the game he was feeling it, skating the puck, shooting it. So, he keeps playing better and better.
What do you think of the drive in overtime where he went along the boards, and that puck eventually gets to you.
Yeah, it's awesome. He's a big body, and a lot of guys are trying to get the puck off him. So, like I said, I think he was feeling it tonight, and his role is going to elevate, I think, as the playoffs go on, just because how good he's playing.
What did the Four Nations mean to you, like the confidence boost you might have got from just being around that environment with all those stars?
Yeah, it was awesome. Obviously, I think just being thrown into that tournament right away and kind of having to adjust on the fly. But, super grateful for my time there.
Okay, so we'll do questions, obviously, for David Perron and Stützle. Why don't we do English first, and then at the end, if you have questions for David, we can have those. Just put your hand up, and we've got a microphone here. So, Clark?
Just first for Tim, just your reaction to winning your first game in overtime and what you saw on Jake Sanderson's play. What went through your mind?
Yeah, feels great. Obviously, great for our group. I think gives us a lot of confidence winning an OT there. And great shot by Sandy, just throwing it to the net, and Z was right in front. So got in his eyes, and that's what we wanted.
You also talked about how you were getting a lot of chances, but nothing was going in. How good did it feel for you to get the goal to start things off?
Yeah, felt good. I think it was good to get a power play goal. I don't think our power play was good enough. Their power play was better than ours, so it was good to get that one, and great penalty kill there at the end by the guys.
David, we know everyone knows the hill you guys have to climb, but what did this group show tonight?
Yeah, just resilience. It was exciting to play again, find a way to get the win. I think now we move on, and we try and kind of just keep building our game, keep building a little bit of pressure over there, and it's going to be the hardest game for sure. It's going to be a really hard game next one.
Tim, what do you think you guys changed about your game in overtime that allowed you to generate a lot more shots as opposed to in the second and third period?
Yeah, we wanted to throw everything on the net. You see one of those goes in. For them, the same thing. And, we just want to throw more pucks on the net, and felt like if we can get in his eyes, make it harder for him. And we got some good looks there, and it felt great to win that one.
Tim, you've seen Jake Sanderson basically ever since he's been on this team, and through this year, he mentioned that he probably thought his start to the year wasn't as great, but he's pushed his way along and he gets himself to Four Nations. What's it been like from your vantage point, seeing Jake Sanderson take a step this year?
Yeah, I always knew how good of a player he's going to be, and obviously it's hard. He's matched up against the top guys every night, and you don't feel great every night, but I think he's done a really good job taking care of his body. He's a really good pro, and I kind of look up to him in certain ways, and he just gets better. I said it before, I think he's just a special player, and he's going to get even better as he gets older, and he's fun to watch, so I love having him on our team.
Where would you rank him among the best defensemen in the world?
Yeah, you guys want me to say something, right?
Number one after the goal tonight.
No, I told you guys I believe he can be a top two D-man in the league, and I really believe that. Otherwise, I wouldn't say it. And he's just overall, he does it all, offensively, defensively, and it's pretty impressive to watch.
Just over to your right here, guys.
Yeah, David, what can you say about your penalty kill where you not only do you get a shorthanded goal, but those 4 minutes, just the job that they did. 4
long minutes when you're just sitting there watching. They did a heck of a job. Toronto's had their way a little bit since the start on the special teams, and it was nice that they came through for us. And usually when those moments happen, I feel like you find a way to win the game for them, and it was nice.
David, that game was a roller coaster ride. You kept taking the lead, they kept coming back, third period. What was the mindset going to overtime?
This classic playoff game, I think the mindset was definitely some emphasis on putting more pucks on net, maybe than previous overtime. Maybe, I don't know, we kind of got settled into the overtime a little bit where the other two were a little bit quicker. The guys did a good job.
Back over to your left there for AJ.
Yeah, Tim, just when the season's on the line like that and you're getting some of those big saves down the stretch, third period and overtime, how much confidence do you have when you're getting those saves from Linus?
Yeah, we have all the confidence in the world in him. I know some of you guys weren't too happy with the way he played, but we have all the confidence in him. It's not just the goalie, it's all the players in front of him, yeah, he won a Vezina. He's really calm, and yeah, we're lucky to have him. And I think he played a great game again tonight.
David, it seems like this young core has dealt with more important firsts as this series has gone on.
Yeah.
From your vantage point, how do you think the younger players in the team handled the most pressure-filled game and period of their career so far?
Yeah, it's going to keep building up. That's what it's all about. You got to go through the experience a little bit, and it's nice that we're able to kind of start building our game. And even like talking about Timmy, Sandy, all those guys, I've been so impressed with their commitment to wanting to win, wanting to get better on the team aspect, on the individual aspect. I'm just thankful to be part of it.
So if that's good for English questions, we'll let Timmy go, and then we can switch over. Unless you want to do some German.
No German.
All right, we'll do DP off.
Yeah.
Just the same thing. Just put your hand up.
David, comment tu décris les sensations ou les sentiments que tu as ressentis quand tu as vu ce but-là en prolongation?
C'est un but, une passe incroyable de Zubi. Honnêtement, dans cette situation, la part des gars vont lancer, puis je pense que le gardien de but de l'autre côté a réagi de cette façon-là. Donc, jeu incroyable de sa part pour me donner, si tu veux, une opportunité en or de marquer. Donc, c'est un feeling assez incroyable, puis un peu de ramener la foule, rajouter de l'énergie dans le crowd, c'est le fun.
Je t'en ai parlé en anglais, mais l'arrivée là, dans ce match-là...
c'était... Non, c'était bon. Faut vivre les expériences. Je pense que notre groupe, il est très jeune de ce côté-là, puis à tous les joueurs qui ont joué longtemps dans la Ligue nationale, dans les séries, ils ont dû passer par là, puis c'est impressionnant de voir les gars comment ils ont réagi ce soir.
On a senti à un moment donné la foule. En deuxième, on sentait comme un stress dans l'arène.
Ouais.
C'était comment sur le banc?
Un petit peu similaire, je trouve. Je pense que Toronto a fait un très bon travail en deuxième pour un peu tourner la vapeur, changer le momentum en leur faveur. Donc, je pense que c'est important qu'on sorte un peu mieux que ça en troisième. On a trouvé le moyen de comme un peu prendre l'avance, ils ont égalisé. Après ça, on dirait que j'ai trouvé qu'on a un peu repris notre rythme avec tous les lancers qu'on a eu en prolongation, ça a été bon.
Bonne ou mauvaise chose, 2 jours de congé?
Pardon?
Bonne ou mauvaise chose, 2 jours de congé?
Correct. Regarde, ça va faire parler les médias une journée de plus. Donc, pourquoi pas? Puis nous, notre travail, c'est justement de tourner la page ce soir, demain matin, peu importe. Puis justement, assez tranquillement, pas vite, de serrer les taux sur eux autres, de rajouter la pression, puis on va voir comment on va réagir, comment ils vont réagir.
Juste une autre question à propos de Jake. Qu'est-ce que vous en pensez de comment il a répondu?
Moi, j'essaie de le calmer. Tous les gars, je trouve tellement que c'est un pro parfait. Il fait tout de la bonne façon. Son repos, comment il se prépare. Timmy en a parlé en anglais. Puis moi, de l'autre côté, j'essaie de le relaxer puis d'éviter un peu, tu sais, un peu juste qu'il y ait un peu moins de stress sur son dos. Puis je comprends son rôle. Tu sais, notre premier défenseur, je compte les meilleurs match-ups, premier avantage numérique. Dès qu'il y a une situation importante, il est sur la glace. Ça rajoute au stress à force que l'année embarque puis il fait un travail exceptionnel.
Alors après le deuxième but accordé par les Leafs, tu l'as dit quoi exactement?
À Jake?
Que tu essaies de le relaxer.
Non, mais j'y parle pas, je veux dire, à toutes les secondes, mais je parle à une journée de pratique, peu importe, juste en général, j'essaie de le faire rire, j'essaie de le calmer, j'essaie de le sortir un peu de ses habitudes, puis de réaliser que oui, c'est correct d'être parfait, mais c'est aussi correct de s'amuser au travers de la perfection. Ouais.
Kim's got one more question back here.
Qu'est-ce qui doit se passer pour les 2 prochains jours pour vous préparer pour le match à Toronto?
Tourner la page le plus vite possible. C'est 3-1 encore. Là, on n'est pas dans une excellente situation. On veut essayer de continuer notre travail. Je pense que le match numéro 5 va être extrêmement difficile. Ils vont regrouper, ils vont se réénergiser comme nous autres, on va essayer de faire dans les 2 prochains jours. Je pense que de notre côté, demain, regarde, mon gars ici, il y a une finale, donc j'ai hâte d'aller le voir jouer puis d'avoir la chance de voir s'ils vont gagner le tournoi. Merci.
Travis, what was the feeling on the bench when you guys were watching the 4-minute penalty kill there, and what kind of boost did it give your team in the latter half of that overtime?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a boost, but relief. Anytime a team like Toronto gets a 4-minute power play, you're in one, and especially with how good their power play is. A lot of credit to our penalty kill tonight. They really got the job done. Gutsy effort.
Jake Sanderson and Artem Zub had a miscommunication in the second period that led to that Matthew Nyes goal, and then Jake ends up being the hero in the end. What did you think of how he rebounded from that moment?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was even a rebound, to be honest. I mean, things happen in the game. There's a lot of mistakes that are made in the game. Whenever someone gets a scoring chance in today's game, someone usually has made a tiny mistake, and they got good players. Like, they're going to make plays.
What did you think of the offensive contributions from Tim and Shane tonight, considering what defensive responsibilities you've given them for this series?
Yeah, well, Pince obviously has a big role as far as checking. We've talked about it a lot in this room, where if you can get a checking centerman that can score, it's quite a bonus. And he's becoming that for sure. And nice to see Timmy get one. He's had a pretty strong series. He's still learning a lot as a young player, but nice to see him get a goal on the power play for sure.
What did you know about Jake before you took the job and you watched tape? And where have you seen his game grow the most the second half of the season after the Four Nations and up to tonight?
And when I first took the job, I knew he was a good player. When I saw him in training camp, I knew he was a really good player. And now, if you ask me today, he's an exceptional player. His game's still growing, like a lot of our team. We have players that have gotten better from training camp to today, and to be honest, they're still going to get better next year. I think Sandy's just not scratching the surface, but he's becoming better. He's still improving, and you could say that about Timmy. A lot of our guys, they're still improving, and that's the exciting part about our team.
Travis, some guys you probably think are going to be good playoff players on paper, but until you see them in the playoffs, a guy like Tyler Klebin, for example, how big a step have you seen from him?
Glad you said that. Yeah, I think his game is really growing, and it's taken off probably since Christmas. Just steadily. He's a guy that, you always have a player as a coach that you lean on a little bit. Maybe give a little tough love at certain moments, and he was that guy early in the year. And but I give him a lot of credit. He's stood tall on a little pressure, and really has been growing into his own. He's big, he's physical, he's smart, and he's, I think every team that gets to play in the playoffs, they learn a lot about certain individuals, and we're seeing him grow and even take another step with his confidence and his ability.
And just on Linus, especially with the game and the season on the line, how big was it to see just what he did down the stretch?
Yeah, really happy for him. Toronto, we came out, played well, really well in the first period, and like a lot of good teams too, they pushed back and they pushed hard. And I thought Linus really showed what he's all about tonight. There's been a lot of talk about him in the series, a lot of doubters, even in this room. And, man, he looked like a guy that has won a Vezina and can win with, and the pressure was not a big deal for him, and he stood very tall for us.
Travis, the Leafs have really limited in the third period last game tonight, the second and third, your shots and your chances. What are they doing to make it very difficult?
Yeah, they're a good team. To be honest, second period felt like the ice was tilted. I haven't looked at the analytics. I'm going to bet that we've outchanced them tonight. And, they got good players. They block a lot of shots. They got some defenders back there. We haven't done a great job getting pucks to the paint, but it's easier said than done. And they're a good team, and they're going to push, and they're going to create momentum. But I thought we got it right back in the third period. and that's playoff hockey. There's momentum shifts. I didn't like our second, but I liked our first and our third. And, like, a team that's supposed to win the Stanley Cup or talking about, you're not going to go in and steamroll them. You're going to have moments where they're going to have the momentum. And so anyone that thinks that this is going to be easier, it's not. It's going to be hard. And could we be sitting here in a different position? Yeah, we could be. And our guys know that, but like I said last game, they're not going to go away. And you know what? Go win another game and see what happens.
Travis, this was your third straight overtime in a
Yeah.
row. What was the message going into this overtime? Was it any different? Was the mood in the
A
locker
little
room any
bit.
different?
A little bit different. I mean, you're always, sometimes, you forget that your team hasn't played in overtime in the playoffs. For the first night, I talked about that a little bit, and your team kind of grows in front of your eyes. Tonight, one of the things we talked about was, don't pass up a shot. Like, a lot of times overtimes are ended with just a shot like tonight. Be around the net if you can get a puck to the paint, but don't get a shot blocked so the other team goes and gets a breakaway. You're not just throwing pucks to the paint. And we talked about, play with no regrets. Like we talked at the beginning of the series. You don't want to have regrets when you look back, whether you win, whenever. If you don't win it all and you end up losing, play with no regrets. Play confident. And that's kind of the message we said to our team tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.